واجعل أمورنا ناجحة نحن وكل المسلمين. الله يا عظيم أنت العظيم هذا ربنا وكل أمر همنا يا ربنا بالبقرة.
Should shout at the people online as well. It's a case of stay in your bedrooms and learn at your pleasure and be void of blessings. Ash-shaytanu ma'al wahid is a saying. I was just teaching this downstairs. That the shaitan always accompanies the single person. By single, I don't mean single in that way. Single as in the person who's just by himself. Yes. So when you're by yourself with the computer and a laptop, Mom, I'm watching Mufti Sahib, but that's like 3 of the movies going on the side as well. There's a bit of mantiq here for you. So yeah, the shaitan is with one person. Yes? He accompanies one person. So you should try not to be alone. Yes. It has devastating effects. So never try to be alone. And then it's a case of with 2 people, it is far-fetched that the shaitan be the 3rd person. Yes. It's talking about company. Yes.
How's that said in Arabic?
Then, so for example, it's ash-shaytanu ma'al wahidi, and then ash-shaytanu laysa ma'al isnaini. Yes, do it that way. Although, sorry, we said abadu, didn't we? So it's further. So here, the way Ibn Taymiyyah, Imam Ahmad Zarruq says, it says alis wa ma'al isnaini abadu. Yeah, along with 2, it seems far-fetched. Okay, right. Just to go through a basic concept of your sentence structure. We've done this before, but I'm just going to recap your mind on this again. And that is that we have murakkab, don't we? So you know what ism fi'l harf is. We're not going to go through that again. But then you have a murakkab, a sentence. Yes. So once you have murakkab is of then 2 types. Yes. Mufid and ghair mufid. Within the ghair mufid, right, you'll have things like murakkab izafi, which is a sentence which shows us that one thing belongs to the other. Yes? Within murakkab idafi, we have the first part which is called mudaf and the second part which is called mudaf ilay, like ghulamu zaidin. Yes? In this sentence, ghulamu zaidin, ghulam is the mudaf and the zaidin is the mudaf ilay. It's not what I want to go into, but I've just mentioned it now. So mudaf ilay. Yes, we'll do this again at some point again. Okay. So mudaf and mudaf ilay. That is murakkab izafi. Then we have murakkab tawsifi. Yeah, this is just mawsuf sifat. Some people have it as that it's a murakkab. Yes. Some people say it's not a murakkab as well. But just for the sake of mentioning it, I will mention it. Murakkab tawsifi is just you have a noun and then its adjective is mentioned straight after it. Is sifa, is attribute. Like rajulun alimun, ja'ani rajulun alimun, a learned man came to me. Yeah, that is murakkab tawsifi. Okay. We leave them 2. There are more, but we'll just keep it to those 2 because they're going to be quite common. Yes. So remember that. So in murakkab tawsifi, the first part is called mawsuf and the second part is called sifa. Mawsuf and sifa. And in Murakkab Izafi, the first part is called Mudaf and the second part is called Mudaf Ilay. Okay. Now coming to our purpose, I'm going to take that off the board. Coming to our purpose is the Murakkab Mufid is then of two types. Murakkab Mufid is of two types. Khabriya and Insha'iyya. Khabriya and Insha'iyya. Insha'iyya. Now, Khabriya means that the sentence can be true and it can be false. Can be true and it can be false. For example, Zaidun qa'imun. Zaid is standing. Is this true or false? Yeah, it can be either, can't it? So let's say Zaid is standing, so it is true. And if he's not standing, then it is false. Insha'iyya is where the sentence can't be true or false. Yes? I say, Ya Hamza. I've called you, haven't I? Oh Hamza. Now can you say it's true or false? Can't. Can you? Yes? Can't be either, can it? Or if I say, can you write? Yeah. As an order. Yes? Write. Now is this true or false? No. You can't say it's true or false because it's an order, isn't it? You can't say that somebody is lying in the order. Yes? Completely wrong, that isn't it? So this is called Insha'iyya. Insha'iyya. Both of these are then split into two. Yes? I've turned it around. Normally in the books they go the other way around. I just made it a bit easier. So both of these are then split into two. Yes? Fi'liya, or do Ismiya first. Ismiya and Fi'liya. Ismiya and Fi'liya. Now what is Ismiya? Jumla Ismiya is that whose first portion is Ism. First portion is an Ism. And Fi'liya is that whose first portion is a Fi'l. Yes? Now look that each of these two sentences has a Musnad and Musnad Ilay. Musnad and Musnad Ilay. Musnad and Musnad, both of them have it in it. Yes? In Jumla Ismiya, the Musnad Ilay comes first. Yes? Musnad Ilay comes first. And it's called Mubtada. Yes? And the Musnad comes second. And it's called Khabar. It's called Khabar. In Jumla Fi'liya, Musnad comes first, and that's the fail. That's the Sigi you should know. Okay? Yes? So don't get them wrong. Don't say it's Siga, Wahid, Muzakkar, Gai, Fail, Mazi, Mutal, and then ask is it Musnad or Musnad Ilay, and you say, think it's Musnad Ilay. Yes? Once you call it a fail, it will be Musnad. And then the Musnad Ilay comes second. And this is called the Fa'il.
What term do we give Musnad and Musnad Ilay?
As in?
In English, how
Subhanallah.
do we describe it?
That's a good question. Never really taught of it in English. I'll tell you now. Right. Instead of using Musnad and Musnad, if you translate in this way, you'll have the verb. Yes? So if you look at Jumla Fi'liya, you'll have the verb and then the subject. And that's how you translate Musnad and Musnad Ilay. Yes? For Jumla Fi'liya. Yes? There are Latin terms, yes, but they're too difficult to pronounce. No point mentioning them, is there? Yes? So this is your basic concept in a sentence. This is a basic. So any sentence we're going to pick up on, any verse of the Quran that we pick up on, this is going to be your base. Yes? You look within it, and first of all work out, is it Jumla Ismiya or Jumla Fi'liya? Yes? Then we look, can it be true, can it be false? Yes? Or is it, then it's Khabriya if that's the case. If it can never be true or false, then it's Insha. Yes? And then remember we talked about Murakkab Ghair Mufid, Murakkab Izafi and Murakkab Tawsifi will become a part of either Jumla Ismiya or Jumla Fi'liya. Jumla, meaning they make up the sentence. Yeah, they're part of the sentence. You all understand that? That's the basics. I mean, like that's like your base that you're looking for. Yeah, there are more intricate things that we're going to go through, but that's your base. So every time we do something, our purpose is always going to be to look for Musnad and Musnad Ilay. Does not matter if it's Jumla Ismiya or Jumla Fi'liya. Yes, we're going to look for Musnad and Musnad Ilay. Yes, that's going to be the purpose. In Jumla Ismiya we call the Musnad Ilay Mubtada, and Musnad is called Khabar. In Fi'liya it's called Fi'l and Fa'il. Yes, so first we'll figure out if it's Jumla Ismiya or Fi'liya. Once we figure that out, then if it's Jumla Fi'liya we look for the Fi'l. Then the second thing we need to look for is its Fa'il. After that everything else is extra. Yes, the main sentence is known to us. And in Jumla Ismiya we look for Mubtada, and then every Mubtada needs a Khabar. Yes? And we did Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim last week. Did you watch it? Yes? It was simple, wasn't it? Ba was a harf jar, that gives the jar. The word ism is the mudaf, and then it moves on to lafzi Allah, which is mawsuf. Remember Murakkab Tawsifi? The first part is called mawsuf. This is mawsufiyya. Ar-Rahman is his first sifa, is the first attribute of God, of the name Allah. Then you've got Ar-Rahim, it became his second attribute. Yes? So the name Allah with both of its attributes, then becomes the mudaf ilay. Remember we talked about mudaf ilay, rubbed off the board? But the mudaf ilay of ism, which is mudaf. Then mudaf, with this mudaf ilay becomes the majroor. Every harf jar needs a majroor, becomes the majroor of the harf jar ba, B. And then the B can never come by itself. Look, no ism has been mentioned before this and no fi'l. So you have to find one then, don't we? So it's always going to be something that it associates itself to. That is going to be what we said, ashra'u. Ashra'u, which is wahid mutakallim, fi'l mudari musbat ma'ruf. Yes, af'alu. And is bab shara'a yashra'u ba fataha yaftahu. There's an ana zamir hidden inside it, which means I. That becomes its fa'il. So you got the fi'l, ashra'u, there's an ana zamir. The ana?
Between the ba and the ism.
Within the ashra'u.
Okay.
Just think as that it had his Christmas meal. Yes? And it ate ana. Yes? It ate the I. Yes? So now the I is within ashra'u. Look, the Siga is telling, isn't it? Wahid mutakallim. Yes? First person. Yes? Singular first person. So it's telling you that it's I then, isn't it? So when it's I in that manner, so where is the I? It's the zamir hidden inside. I'm going to go through them as well as we go through the course. Yes? We'll go through them as well. Now, that I is hidden in there. So the fi'l was the musnad. Yes? And we call that fi'l. Then we found the I hidden inside it. The I is the subject here, isn't it? Who did the action? Who started? I. Yes? So that became the fa'il. The fa'il. Musnad and musnad ilayh have been found now. Yes? The ba is just association. So we say fi'l with its fa'il, with its muta'alliq. The association, right? What's associated. With its muta'alliq becomes what jumla? Fi'liya, khabriya. Yes? Jumla fi'liya, khabriya. And just for the sake of we say lafzan. In words, insha ya ma'nan. But by meaning it is insha, because it's Quran, isn't it? Yes? So we go by that. Okay?
Can you just explain that?
So, because we're going to go through the Quran and we're going to do this with the Quran. The Quran is not a place of falsehood, is it?
Oh, okay.
Yes?
So that's
Or even the doubt, as is it true or false?
Yeah,
So then at the end we'll always make the statement
is inshallah.
is insha'iyya ma'nan. By meaning is insha, but just in its apparent form as we see it, as a sentence, is khabariyya.
Okay.
Yes? We're just going to say that for the Quran.
Yeah.
Yes? But when you do tarkeeb of normal sentences like Zaidun qa'imun, you just finish it on jumla fi'liyya khabariyya and that's it. But because we're going to be doing the verses of the Quran, we'll have to stop on insha'iyya.
So would you say the sentence as khabriya and then for
Yeah, so we say jumla fi'liya khabariya lafzan. It just in words. In words it is jumla fi'liya khabariya. But insha'iyya ma'nan. But by meaning, because it's not a place of doubt. Yes? La riba fi. It's not a place of doubt. Therefore, in its meaning is insha. Just to keep our aqidah intact as well. We don't want to go away from class and where's my faith gone? Yes? So we started a bit of tafsir of this as well. So I did promise that we're going to be doing a bit of tafsir as well. But that's for you to learn. That is, subhanallah. That is the base that we're going to always be following. Yes? Every single sentence that we're going to do, yes, is not going to be outside of that. Yeah? There are going to be things in sentences which we have not done, but remember like last year when they come up, we'll explain them. Yes? So what I'll do is, we'll explain before we do the actual sentence. Yes? And then we go in. Or sometimes we might just go into the sentence and then explain them like that. Yes? So this was the tarkeeb of Bismillah. It's quite easy. It's not hard. Okay? When we used to do tarkeeb, we do it in Farsi. Yes? There are other things to learn as well about each and individual words as well. So at the moment, for example, you learn how to recognize the sigas. There's a manner of how to recognize the isms also. Yes? We're going to teach you that as well, inshallah. Yes? I might teach you that first thing. Yes? Next week. First thing next week we will teach you. We'll teach you that the types of ism. Yes? And there's a whole load of them. Okay? Different types of ism. It might take a few weeks actually to get them all in. But we will, inshallah ta'ala. Before you know where to look. Okay? So anyway, we started the tafsir of Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. And we got to a point where we was, who remembers what point we got to? Anybody know? So we spoke on just some various things regarding Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. And when it's and we spoke of if it's a verse of the Quran or not the verse of the Quran. According to us Hanafis, it is one verse of the Quran in one surah of the Quran. Yes. Other than that, it is not a separate verse of the Quran. As in Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, as in one whole thing. It's not. Rather, it is a verse within Surah Naml, a part of a verse in Surah Naml, as opposed to, like some ulama said, that it's one verse on its own as well. It's not one verse on its own, rather it's in Surah Naml and that's about it. Okay, so a lot of people get confused in this also. So something that we mentioned last week. And then we also spoke on regards to if we can write it before books of poetry. Yes? So we said, concluded in this is that if it's poetry in regards to, for example, the poetry in praise of Allah and His Messenger ﷺ, or anyone associated to them, then without a shadow of a doubt it is permissible. Rather, Abu Bakr al-Khatib also recommended it. Yes, but if it's poetry about the girl you love, yes, then it's not recommended to write Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim before that. Okay, so yes, stay clear from that. Okay. Now, there's one thing as well. Sometimes when we refer to Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, we say, like the person who just said Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim in Arabic, they say Mubasmilun, yes, or Basmala. This is what we call Lugha Muwallada. It's just a made up word. Yes, it is a made up word. For example, look, we have loads of them in Arabic. One example is that when somebody says La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah, for example, you're trying to refer to him that he's the guy that said La hawla wa la quwwata, we'll say Hawqala. I mean, he said La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. Yes? But yeah, it's a made up word. There's no word like that in Arabic. It's just a made up word to refer to this. Similar, I think, istarja'a, to say inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Yes, I think tahleel falls into the same manner as well, to say la ilaha illallah. So mubasmilun is also a made up word in this regard. Similarly, they say sabhala, the person who said subhanallah. This is the same. It's a made up word. Hamdallah, the person who said alhamdulillah. And you can carry on all day like that. Haysala, the one who says hayya ala salah. Yes. And so on and so forth. Or ja'qala, ja'fala. Like you say ja'altu fidaka, ju'iltu fidaka. I've been sacrificed upon you. Yes, in this manner. Or tabaqala, when you make dua, atar Allahu baqa'aka. Allah grant you a long life. And like that, you just carry on. You can go on all day like that. Yes, it's just made up word. So sometimes this is used as well. You might see it, especially in tajweed. This, in the books they write it in this manner. Another matter, that Sharia has said that it is mustahab to read and recommended to read Bismillah before every action, so before we start, we read Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. For example, when we're eating, we say Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. When we are about to drink something, we say Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. When we're about to slaughter, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. And like that, throughout all of your actions, you can say Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, and it is recommended. Yes. For example, for eating, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, فَكُلُوا مِمَّا ذُكِرَ اسْمُ اللَّهِ عَلَيْهِ. Eat from that which the name of Allah has been mentioned on. It kind of means eating or slaughtering, doesn't it? Yes. Another, وَقَالَ ارْكَبُوا فِيهَا بِسْمِ اللَّهِ مَجْرَيْهَا وَمُرْسَاهَا. That's how you recite that verse, okay? Don't be reading as majriha, it's majre. Yeah, you have to read it like that, majre. Yeah, majre. Irkabu fiha bismillahi majreha wa mursaha. Okay, it's read in the what you would call the majhul method. Okay, it's basically you get rewarded for it. Okay, it's one of the points as well where they say that if a person only knows how to read the Quran through the majhul way, alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen, yes, he'll be rewarded. Yes, he will be rewarded. And there are many people who are ignorant of tajweed but are more rewarded than the people who know tajweed to its highest level. just to put things in perspective, because sometimes a person feels that just because I know the tajweed, I'm better and I'm going to get more reward. Without doubt, you do if you try your best and you learn the tajweed. But what happens with knowledge is that it brings arrogance and it makes you think that you're above everybody else. Okay, so that's the point where this is said, that many people who read it in the majhul way are rewarded more than the people who actually know how to read tajweed. Yes, in that manner, that many of them are arrogant. Just like similarly, there are many people who don't know what's fard in prayer, yes, are rewarded more than many of the Maulvis that lead the prayer. Yes, because he's too busy thinking about, I did this speech. Yes, how am I going to top that speech now in my next one? Yes, so he's too busy thinking about this and not concentrating towards God, isn't it? So then who's rewarded more? So you sometimes have to look at it this way. I know sometimes we speak on the excellence of knowledge, yes, but don't. It becomes an advertising point as well sometimes, for Maulvis, that they talk about, look, this is the excellence of knowledge, this is the excellent knowledge of, and the truth, what the Prophet said is the truth, yes. But then on the other hand as well, there are dangers to it as well. Yes, and we have to be careful of those dangers. And the only thing that can deal with those dangers is tarbiyah. Yes, so never leave tarbiyah out of your courses when you're teaching children. Rather, tarbiyah should be the focal point of your course, for children I'm talking about, so that they learn the etiquettes of Islam. Yes, not that you just give them knowledge, and they get to a point that they feel that they're such a big imam that they're above Sharia now, and they can do whatever they like. Yes, and then they get done for high treason in a special court, and then sentenced to death. Yes, it's what happens, doesn't it? Yeah, they didn't look. Hajjaj bin Yusuf, wasn't it? Yes, I mean, he came over with the Zabbar Zaid Pesh, everything. Yes, he worked a lot on the Quran, didn't he? Yes, I mean, imagine where his tajweed was to. Yes, he worked a lot on the Quran, on the Mus'hafs, and they used to say he used to recite Quran every single night. Yes, he used to recite Quran every single night and go through it. And he's the one that put signs at the end of verses, and he put a sign at the 10th of the Quran. Yes, the 7 portion, the 7 manzil of the Quran. He's the one that put those signs there in the Quran. Yes, yeah, he's known as the greatest zalim of this ummah. Yes, he's known as the greatest zalim, the greatest transgressor this ummah has ever seen. Yeah, he used to do all those things. The reason was he martyred a lot of companions, didn't he? Yes, he killed a lot of companions. But having said that, Imam Bedawi in Tafsir Bedawi in the beginning, he writes that, but the work that he did for the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala might just forgive him. Yes. So yeah, he's.
That was going to be my next question.
Yes.
Is where do we stand
With that, I mean, look, the whole ummah has an ijma. Doesn't matter which sect you follow, every single scholar has said that Hajjaj was azlam. Isme tafdeel, isn't it? He's azlam, not just zalim, he's azlam. Yes, he's the greatest zalim. Yes. So when that's the case, yeah, Imam Bedawi says, right in the starting of his tafsir, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala might just forgive him for the service he gave as well. But the point I wanted to make here was that look how he died. Yes, where he was with the beggar, and he asked the beggar, what do you think of Hajjaj? And the beggar just started bad mouthing Hajjaj. Yes, and yeah, Hajjaj was sat in front of him. Yes, and then he died, I believe, and the people didn't want anything to do with his body. Yes, so anyway, that's what happens when you think you're above everything. So we don't want that in this dunya. So tarbiyah should be a big part of our children's courses. The Prophet ﷺ said, yes, that lock your doors. Aghliq babak. Lock the door. Lock your door. Wazkur ismallahi. And mention the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Wa atfi misbahak. And what do you call it in English? To put out the candle. Yes? The lamp. وَاذْكُرِ اسْمَ اللَّهِ, while mentioning the name of Allah. So to close the door by the name of Allah. Pour out the candle by the name of Allah. وَخَمِّرْ إِنَاءَكَ وَاذْكُرِ اسْمَ اللَّهِ. And when you cover your vessels, water vessels and pots and pans, like we do sometimes, there be the juice or something in a jug and then you just put a plate on top of it. Yes, the Prophet ordered this actually. Yes, it's a sunnah to do. So you cover the pots in that manner by saying Bismillah Rahman Rahim. وَأَوْكِ سِقَاءَكَ وَاذْكُرِ اسْمَ اللَّهِ. And similarly in that manner the Prophet mentioned regarding the water vessels. So here, look, every single thing the Prophet is saying, just say Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Yes? And this is down to everything. Every single thing which is a good action. Yes? Every single thing. Yes? Okay. Another masla is here is that we're saying that we start with the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, don't we? But yet there's ism here. The word ism. Bismillah, bi ismillah. So it's with name of Allah. With the name of, literal translation, with the name of Allah. So now when we say that it's with the name of Allah, then it's not starting with Allah, is it? Yes? The answer to this is that this ism is also representation of the name Allah. Yes? For example, you say my name is Zaid. Yes? My name is Zaid. So my name is Zaid and Zaid is my name. If that makes sense. Yes? They refer to the same thing, don't they? They refer to the same thing. Yes? So here when we say the name of Allah, yes, we're not trying to find another new name. It's actually saying that the name itself is Allah. The name itself is Allah. Yes? So from there, when ism means Allah and Allah means ism, is referring to ism. And the name is Allah and Allah is the name. Yes? So therefore, that is starting with the name of God then, isn't it? That is starting by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's name. Another masla is, okay, we figured out that it is, yeah, alright, ism is the name of Allah, as in it's referring to the word Allah, and vice versa. So that it shows that we're actually starting with the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But what are you going to do with the ba now? Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, the B. Where are you going to place this? You can't exactly say that the B now represents God. Can't say that, can we? Then the answer to this is that the ba here is just for blessings. Yes? So we seek blessings by His name. Yes? We start by His name, but the start is not just starting and that's all it is. But rather, what is it for? To seek blessings by His name. Yes? To seek blessings by His name. And then the other thing you have to understand is that the huruf on their own accord, they don't hold any standard in a sentence, do they? They need to be attached to something. So therefore, it's not independent. Yes? It is not independent, meaning huruf are like parasites, if that makes sense. They just don't do anything. They can't survive on their own. Rather, they need to be with with the ism or a fi'l. But when they be part of an ism or a fi'l, they're more or less a ism and a fi'l then. They're part of it. They just can't come alone. You'll have, whenever you count a harf, you'll have to count it with one or the other. Yes? It's attached to something. Like the harf jar here. So the harf jar is attached here to the, either to the ism or is attached to the fi'l. Yes? But we told you before, it's Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim Ashra'u. So the ba is attached to the fi'l, isn't it? Yes? Which combines it. Then therefore, Ismillah is the name of God. So we started with the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yes? Make sense? Another masla is, I think I spoke about this last time, that we do not write the alif in Bismillah, in Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Can I take this off the board now? So when we have Bismillah, yes, we got Bismillah there. Now normally it is ism. What is it? Ism. Now the alif is not there, or hamza, whichever you want to call it. It's both, isn't it? Because it drops as well. Is a alif in that, and when you read it, then it's a hamza. Yes. This hamza and our hamza are spelled differently, just in case you wondered. Okay, our hamza over here is spelled with like this. Okay, this hamza is spelled like this. There you go. Okay, so don't be calling our hamza hamza. Okay, it'll have drastic effects. Yes. Right. So ism here, look, is not there, is it? We don't write it there. So the answer to this is that, look, we haven't why haven't we written it there? So just to add on to this is that, how come you don't write it here when you write? I'll just write quickly. Iqra bismi rabbik. I'm sorry, shorten it. Rabbik. Yes. How come you wrote it there? So if you open the Quran and you read Surah Iqra, you'll find it to be written like that. Yes, with the alif. Yes. But yet in Bismillah is written without the alif, it's just ba and sin. Do you understand the objection? So why is the case? I answered this last time to you as well. One answer is that even the way we write the Quran in terms of what letters we write and how we write it, separate to calligraphy. Yes, the font that you use, that's separate. But in terms of the letters that show and don't show, and what joins with what, yes, this is also mass narrated. This is also mass narrated. And the way Bismillah came to us was without the alif. Yes, that's how it was written by the Sahaba Ikram, and that's how we write it. And when they came to Iqra Bismi Rabbikal Ladhi, they wrote it with the alif, so we leave it with that. So do you understand this answer? Then there's a dispute as to, instead of saying Bismillah, what if somebody said Bismir Rahman? You want to write that instead? Yes? Can you write the alif or not this time? Then that's open game. Yes? That's not Quran, is it then? That is open game. Some scholars say it's permissible, some scholars say it's not permissible. It's just open game for you, do what you like in that. Yes? Look at the word ism. Yes? Ism originally was either simwun, some pronounce it as sumuvun, if you like, on the version of uluvun. So simwun, or it was wismun. Simwun or wismun. If it was wismun, then the waw was changed into a hamza and it became ismun. Simple. And if it's sim1, then the waw was dropped from the end, and we, in exchange of it, we put hamza in the starting and it became ismun. Yes? And that's how this word is made. So, if it was wismun, it means sign. Yes? And if it's simmun, then it means to be high, above. Yes? So yeah, so this is just regards to the word ism. Okay.
Is that similar to like samawati?
Same, it is, yeah, same thing. It comes from there, it's derived. But here, look, a name of a person or being, yes, makes him above others, doesn't it? As in, if you call him, then his name is above all other people's name that you've chosen him. And if it's in the meaning of sign, then his name is a sign that you didn't choose somebody else, you chose him, that you're mentioning him. So see how it works? Yes? Another matter to look at is, so this was a dispute between the Kufis and the Bisris. Yes? The Kufi said it was in the meaning of Sumuvun, Simmun or Sumuvun. And the Kufis then said that it was Wismun. Yes? And all sorts of people today.
But did you say the Kufi said it was
Simmun.
Simmun?
Yeah. And the Bisri said Uluvun. So like we said before as well, that here, that the ism is in the meaning of musamma. Ism is in the meaning of musamma, that is actually, ism refers to the one whose name it is. Yes? Kind of hard to, it's easy to understand in the Arabic. Yes? So you have a name and then the named. Ism, the name, is referring to the named, isn't it? Yes? So when it refers to the named, then it is the named, then, isn't it? Yes? When it is a representative of the named, then it's as though you mentioned the person, then haven't you? So when you mention the person or being, then you mention him, then haven't you? Yes? Once you mention him, then you started with his name. Another thing to look at in Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim is the name Allah. I thought I'll give you a taster of what we go through in the Dars in Nizami as well. Okay? Since it's a feeder course, still feeding you at the moment, is, first of all, is that this is the greatest name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yes, the name Allah. And what is the meaning of the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? The meaning of the name of Allah is that it is ismul lil mawjood al haq, that it is a name for the one who exists, who's the truth. And it's a name for the wajib wujud, wajibul wujud. Al-Jami' li sifatil ilahiyya, the one who gathers all divine attributes, one who carries all divine attributes. Yes? We couldn't come to any other definition. Okay? Because we don't know God. We can never truly know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we only know Him by His attributes. So therefore, we just have to confine the definition to this. Now the masla is that the name Allah, where did it come from? Some said the name Allah is derived. It is derived. And some said the word Allah is a name. It's not derived from anything and it's an alam. It's just a name. Yes? That has not been made from anything and God just gave us it. A lot of ulama went towards that it is derived. Yes? So the first group of scholars said it was derived, wasn't it? A lot of many of them went towards that it is derived. That is made from another word. Then, like always, those scholars who agreed that it's derived, then disagreed. Yes? They agreed that it's derived, but then the next discussion was where is it derived from? They disagreed in that. Yes? And Sibawayh narrated from Khalil that its asal was ilahun. Ilahun. La ilaha, the same word. Ilahun. On the scale of fi'alun. Yes? The Hamza and the Lam became one. The Hamza and the Lam became one, and then we put al before it. Yes? So it was Ilah, write like this way because it'll be easier. Yes? Ilahun. So then we got rid of the alif and kind of like just, metamorphed it into the lam. Yes? So it became part of the lam. And then we put the al which comes in front of isms. Yes? Like rajulun to ar-rajulu. We put that in front of it and we said Allah, which then we'll just write like this then. Yes? The alif becomes Kari Zabar. Yes? So some say, Sibawayh narrated this from Khalil.
That's the first opinion.
That's the first opinion. Second opinion is similar. Instead of ilahun, they said its asal was lahun. Yes? So same thing. Yes? And it was a case of that they then placed the al in front of it and just became the same thing, Allahu. So like that you have this disagreement amongst them as to where it is defined from.
Who did the second one?
The second one is also from Sibawayh as well. Okay. And it is said that this is the chosen one as well, that Sibawayh chose, because he used it in some of his poetry.
Quite intriguing name.
Sibawayh. Sibawayh is probably one of the greatest, probably the greatest Arabic grammarian. Yes?
I think, to attend to a topical issue, but I think that was used in Planet of the Apes, wasn't it? For one of the apes, Sibawayh. Seriously, I think it was. That's what kind of, when you said that, I thought,
You know, saying something like that would be racist in this day and age, wouldn't it?
Kind of, you see where it's sort of full circle it comes from. It's something interesting.
Yeah. You just remind me of something else.
Opening the kind of word.
It was a football player, wasn't it? And the guy was acting like an ape in front of him.
Yeah.
Yes, and something happened. There was this other discussion, it's slightly separate, but someone was trying to use some of the Maliki books and say that the Malikis were racist. And they brought a matter up of something like that if it's a black woman, then she doesn't need to cover her aura. Yeah, something along those lines. In this sense as well, remember, majority of the Malikis were in the Arab Peninsula because it stemmed from there. You have to consider the first person to use language like that. You have to keep an eye on this, guys. The reason for this is because a lot of scholars copy and paste. Yes? A lot of scholars, believe it or not, they copy and paste. They never put anything into their own words. Yes? They just take other people's words and put it as their own words. Yes? So then you have to look at where they got it from. So majority of scholars have taken it from one person. What you have to do then is then look at the time of that person, and more than definitely find that black slavery was ripe at that time. Yes? And first is that the person who mentioned this misunderstood what the author was trying to say. And secondly is that he forgot to look at the time when this man wrote this. So when black trade or slavery was common, yes, he wrote it because majority of slaves were black. Yes? And if you did see a black person, he was a slave. Yes? Like America at one point. Yes? You know, there was a point in America, very rarely you'll see a man who's black and then he say, I'm a free man. Yes? He was a slave. So in that sense, that sentence is written for that era, that if it's a black woman, she doesn't have to cover her aura. Yes? Why? Because like in the Hanafi mazhab, her aura is not the same as free women, is it? Yes? But only the term he used black women, but he's trying to refer to the slaves. That's it. That's what he's doing. So the person in his time, he wasn't racist. Yes? But if you compare it to how it's written in this time, then it is racist, isn't it? But you never do that in history, because then everyone in history, if you go by your standard today of how you perceive what justice is, yes, then everyone in history is a criminal. Yeah, that's the only problem. Anyway, so that's that. Some said it's an alam, some said it's an alam, and I believe Imam Baydawi went this way. Imam Baydawi went towards this side, that is just a name that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us. Yes, it's not been used by anyone before He gave it to us. Yes, I would say keeping it as an alam is a lot better. Yes, keeps Tawheed intact. The reason for that is if it's derived, this is another thing, that once it's derived, then you have to ask a question, that can another person or being use it? Yes? Then the answer has to be yes, until Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made it special for Himself. So before He made it special to Himself, up until then it was permissible. So Tawheed does not stay intact, does it, in that regards? Yes? So in the point of when it's derived, it doesn't stay intact. But in the point of when it's alam, it's just a name that He gave Himself. If you just want to name somebody days, just a made up word. Yes? Rather than Zaid, you call him days. Yes? Now you name him, that is just a made up word. It's not derived from anything. Yes? It's just a made up word. It's fine. It's a alam. Yes? Samundar Khan. Yes? Samundar means sea. Yes? It is said about the Afghanis that they name their children, I don't know if it's true or not, but it's commonly said, I've heard it from Afghanis, maybe it's a joke, I'm not really sure, but I've heard it from Afghanis that they say that the Afghanis name their children by what they see first, or where he's born. Okay? So hence why you get Samundar Khan. Samundar means sea. Samundar Khan. Yes. So I'm not for sure if it's true or not. But I've actually, some of the brothers of Afghanis, they've actually said this to me. Because they have some odd names, don't they, like this? Yes. So maybe born at sea, or his father saw the sea first. Before. Yes. Yeah. I met one, he was in Pakistan, I met this guy. Long time ago. He was in Dina. His name was Khushi Khan. I go, why did they call you Khushi Khan? He actually said that when I was born, my father was really happy they called me Khushi. Khushi Khan. So yeah, it's cool. Eh? I wouldn't ask you to do that in the UK. God knows what you'll name him. Tesla Khan. TV Khan. So yeah, it's one of those things. I mean, even that name. I mean, Katie Hopkins wouldn't like it, would she? She doesn't like children who are named after objects. Yeah, and countries, and yet the host asks her, your daughter's called India. Anyway, I mean, it's sometimes better than the way our lot do it. Yes, they get a tasbih, yeah, over the Quran, and just go. There's a tasbih, eh? And it just falls onto something. Yes, and whatever it falls on, it's fallen on qawluhu ta'ala. Qawluhu. Yeah. Hence why you get funny name now, Alayna. A young girl, her father named her Alayna. Alina is fine, yes, but they named her Alayna. So Alina is okay. That's a proper noun. Yes, it means loud, by the way, though. Yes, I forgot to tell my brother. Alina from E'lan, isn't it? E'lan. Yes, Alan. Maybe Alan's from there. Yes. You say Alania. Yes, Sirram wa Alania is from the same word, isn't it? Alan. Yeah, they're pretty loud, aren't they? So they do this, they do of the Quran, and then they say Alayna. Yeah, and I'm like, do you know what Alayna means? No. I tell it means upon us. Allah is harf jar, na is zamir, jama mutakallim, which means us, upon us. And you name your door upon us. Yes. So you don't do stuff like that. Yes. And there's like really, really odd names out there. Just because they just be landed on some point. Yeah. I go, what if you landed on Jahannam? What do you do then? Best out of three. We'll try again. Iblis or something, yeah. It's a bit odd, isn't it? It's stuff like that is from the Hindus. Yes. It's very common amongst Hindus. And sometimes they take bad omens from them as well. So if you did land on Jahannam, they'll consider, they won't name it by it, the person by it, but they might consider it as a bad omen though. Yes. Yeah, and it's wrong that. Anyway, so this is where Tawheed stays intact, when it's alam. When it's alam. So that's that. Second is that, lastly, is that in the name Allah, yes, we say, for those who said that it's derived, then they put al in the starting, didn't they? Yes. They had a disagreement between themselves that is the al necessary? You can say rajulun and you can say ar-rajulu. So when you refer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then can you just take the al out and say la? Yes? Then this is disagreed, and Imam Shafi said that the al is necessary and is not permissible for you to separate it from the rest of the name. Yes? Sibawayh kind of disagreed. Yes? Sibawayh. He disagreed. So, because of his poetry, he put in his poetry without it, didn't he? Yes? But he can still have an answer as well. If you do take it out of its way, then, for example, you just say la, then you still got a way to say that I'm not referring to Allah, but I'm referring to the la, which is an actual word in Arabic. Yes? Which refers to a deity. Yes? Slight difference. Yes? But it is also noticed that Sibawayh said it is Allah, and you can't separate the al from the la in this case. And then to him as well is that if you say la, then you're not referring to Allah. Yes? You can refer to Allah by it, but by its usage it doesn't have to refer to God as well. By your Aqidah refers to God, doesn't it? Yes? If a Christian was to use it, then it doesn't, does it? Or any other religion. Then there is Ar-Rahman. It is said that the word Ar-Rahman is not derived from anything. That's the first thing. It is a single word. It's not derived from anything. And it's from those names which are specific to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay, so and then they have the dalail. Um, they have the evidences for this. Some said that it is derived. Yes. And it's taken from rahmah, mercy, just like Rahim is from mercy, rahmah. So then the question arises is that if this is from mercy also, then isn't it just a bit of a case of repetition? Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Yes. Most merciful, most merciful. Here is that the answer to this is that the mercy within this intrinsic name of God of Ar-Rahman is greater than the mercy within Ar-Rahim. And you might say, how do you figure out if something is one is greater than the other? Because all the names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala are equal, aren't they? Yes? They are equal. The standard of figuring out if one is greater than the other is by how much of it is within existence. Yes? Look, you can't say one attribute of God intrinsically is greater than the other attribute of God. Intrinsically. Yes? Because then it makes it look like that God's attributes go up and down. One is greater than the other. Where's Tawheed in that? There is no Tawheed in that, is there? So therefore his attributes are all equal like his essence. So but how do we consider that? Like look, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that my mercy is greater than my anger. Yes? Now in this case, is that, how do we figure that out? That's figured out by a worldly sense. Yes? That there's more of his mercy is representing more in creation than his wrath, isn't it? Yes? So this is how we're looking at this. So when we compare Ar-Rahman to Ar-Rahim, then we see that the effects of Ar-Rahman are greater than the effects of Ar-Rahim in creation though. How? That Ar-Rahman, the mercy that comes through the attribute of Ar-Rahman, encompasses the whole of creation. Yes? Muslims or non-Muslims? Muslim or non-Muslim? Is mercy. Look, one mercy is that their punishment is delayed to the day of judgment. Yes? So here you find out that Ar-Rahman is generalized. It's general, isn't it? It's more general than Ar-Rahim, which we're coming to. Yes? That it includes everything. And Ar-Rahim is more specific. The Ar-Rahim, this attribute will be most evident on the day of judgment. How? Because the mercy that will be there will be through Ar-Rahim, and it will only be for the believers on the day of judgment. I.e. the disbelievers won't benefit from this. Yes? That makes sense? So one is generalized and the other one is specific. Yes? So this is the difference between them. Another masla is that the name Ar-Rahman is specific to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So even if it's derived or not derived, we are sure like the name Allah, the name Ar-Rahman is also specific to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You cannot call anyone Ar-Rahman. It'll have to be Abdur Rahman. Yes? But there's a difference here. All the other attributes are not like that. So if somebody is called Jabbar, you can just call him Jabbar. Yes? If somebody is called, give me a name. Rahim, yes, we've got one here. Rahim, then you can say Rahim. You can just call him Rahim. Yeah, that's fine. Latif, you can call him Ali. Yes. So a lot of people from the other sect come to, for example, my name is Wajid, isn't it? So then the first thing say Abdul Wajid. Yeah? I go, no, Wajid. Okay. And They say, no, but it should be Abdul Wajid. I go, no, it's Wajid. I'm pretty sure my name is Wajid. Yes. But they say, no, it's meant to be Abdul Wajid. I go, why is it meant to be Abdul Wajid? Oh, but it's the name of God, so you have to have Abdul before. No, you don't have to have Abdul before. So what confuses me is that they say that Abd needs to be applied before every single name of any name that comes within the names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then I say, well, what do you think of Sayyidina Ali? Yes? Sayyidina Ali's name is one of the names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So, if it was so necessary, then why didn't the Prophet change his name to Abdul Ali? Yes? The Prophet left it as Ali, which tells us it's not, they confuse the matter with Ar-Rahman and the name Allah. They are specific. No one can be named by them. Yes? It's Abdullah and Abdul Rahman. Yes? After that, any other name, you can take it.
Is that for the rest of the 98?
Yes.
Fine. Okay.
Yes. It's fine.
A few of this guy.
No.
Abdul Wahab also.
No.
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 The name Wahab.
Wahhab is fine as well. All of them. Okay? Just the name Allah and Ar-Rahman. Yes? Other than that, there is no other name which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala specifically mentioned for himself. Yes? Wahhab just means the bestower, the gift, the one who gives gifts. Why can't I call you Wahhab? Eh? Especially in Christmas time. Secret Santa. They're all Wahhab now, aren't they? So do you see? So in its meaning is fine, isn't it? It doesn't make it particular to obviously there's a difference between attribute of God's attribute and then here. If a person decides to give it that meaning that it's God's name, then yes, it should be Abdul Wahhab. That this is the name of God, then it's Abdul Wahhab. If there's no intention by naming him by the name of God, then it's fine. Wajid is fine, isn't it? It doesn't have to be Abdul Wajid. Yes. So that's that. So in this essence, when taking a Shari oath, yes, if a person says Wallah or he says War-Rahman, this is a Shari oath. Yes, because it is specific to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So that's that. Right. And then you have your tajweed rules of if you can join the Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, the meme to the surah that you're reading and how you should join it, and the Alif Lam Mim, and where the surahs where you might have to make a few, apply a few certain adjustments to get in. Okay? We leave that to Hamza to explain it tomorrow. Okay? So that's that on Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. From next week we'll be starting Surah Fatiha inshaAllah ta'ala. So we'll have a few basic things to cover in Arabic, and then we'll go into the first line of it, the first verse, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. We'll do sentence by sentence, so it's quite a long sentence, so we'll try to do it all in one go first, and then we'll see what tafsir we can get into in that time inshallah. That's fine? Inshallah. We'll stop.